Alright. Yeah. Morning, everyone. Hello. Hello. Like. Feels like. Oh, I heard that. Heard the EVGA go. Cool in the morning, but it's still hot inside the house. Yeah. Did you have your windows open? Do you have your fan in your windows? Speaking of, hold on. Speaking of, poke. Oh, you don't have like screens and stuff for your windows? Fair enough. Yeah, my windows have built-in screens, which are real handy. So, well, I built in. Okay, it is built into the window frame itself, but it's not in the windows themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I have my two sliding panels for the window, which seal up. And then in front of those, there is another pane that is just a pure screen. Right? Yeah. They're nice windows. They're very nice windows. And I can actually take the panes out, easy peasy. But that's why I couldn't have like a window unit AC thing either, because that screen is in the way. I do. They just suck. I can see a gap in the corner right now. Ah. Here's what you do. Duct tape. That's what I did for this to get this better. There's still a little gap here. I need to put some more duct tape. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duct tape the bottom of this. Make sure I get a total air seal. Oh, wait, I also need to turn the windows. Hold on. There we go. Let there be light. And also, let me fix my thing because VC Face is like, he wants to lean forward. This is me leaning forward now. It's a bit scuffed. It's a bit scuffed. Alright. Oh, that's too much. Okay. Yeah, okay. There we go. Better. Need to make a smart vent that stores cool air in the attic at night but closes in the day. You want airflow in your attic though. Like unironically. You want some. That's why you seal up from the house to the attic, but you want the attic itself to have some airflow. If not, that's how you get mold. You don't want mold. Blech. Mold. Mold. Some new Newer constructions actually have a strip along the very top, like the crown of the roof, where it's open airflow so that you won't build up pressure in the attic, and it'll be properly, it'll allow for, like, snow to blanket and everything, which is what you want. You can tell if you have bad insulation if you look at people's houses in winter, and you can see that they don't have snow on their roofs. Now, obviously, if it's not been snowing much, nobody's going to have snow on their roofs. But if you see somebody who's got a nice blanket of snow on their roof, and you look at somebody else's house and it's not there, their insulation's not very good. Don't have one, get one. Oh my god, that was the name of the game with this house. This house didn't have a basement. Hasn't snowed here in 20 years. Woo! That was the name of the game with this house. This house, they carved a basement down underground. And it feels that staircase. That staircase to get in the basement is dangerous. It's almost a ladder. My god, it's like a 60-degree angle. I fell down those stairs before. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, it's a big oof. Big oof. Alright. I'm just continuing doing some ready writing, because that's what today is. Oh. Oh. Tight pants. Okay. Oh god, that reminds me of tech bros trying to market cellars as eco fridges. Why am I not surprised? This brand new technology that no one throughout the history of time ever thought of. It's called the root cellar. That's the other weird thing, too. For a while there, how many different things You know, we've been on this screen for enough. How many different things have unironically, like, oh, medieval people, but only medieval European people. Medieval people were too stupid to figure anything out. Like, no, they weren't. What the fuck are you talking about? But that's become the new thing. And again, it's only, as they said it, only medieval European. Because you're not allowed to bring up, like, Muslims or Africans or anything like that, right? Or I should say Persians, because, well, before the death cult took over. It was weird. Like, it's just so funny because I remember SciShow did a god awful, like, SciShow did a god awful. What's the best way to put it? Smear job, I guess. Where they were trying to, like, they were trying to claim, like, medieval European blacksmiths didn't know how to work with metal. There was no way they could make quality steels and stuff like that. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, they figured all this shit out. They figured out how to make spring steel, for God's sakes. Do you understand what level of mastery of metalworking you need to make spring steel? And theirs was all about color. Like, yeah, they didn't have magnets and stuff like that. Who cares? They worked with the colors. It's why, you know, hang on. I'll show the color chart. Oh, there's a bunch of them. Which one should I use? God, there's so many different, like... I think this one's good enough. No, it's small. Really small. Is there a bigger chart? How big are you? Excellent. We'll use you. Cool. So like this. Again, your coloration is what mattered, so that you knew what you were tempering at, and you knew how to create the different types of steel, right? Like, you would want to get them up to certain variables, because steel is one of those things where, depending on how you heat it, and how evenly you heat it, changes the properties of the steel in and of itself. And this is because of the way the steel binds together. Steel is one of those, it's one of those metals where you can affect the crystal structure of it significantly based on your heating methodology, heat levels, and when you temper and how you temper it, right? And medieval peoples figured this out. It's how they created the blast furnace to begin with. They figured this shit out. They knew how to do this. Sure, it took a lot of trial and error. They couldn't use the sciences with it. But this is why you had master blacksmiths. You had people that understood, like, through their apprenticeship, they could read the colors in the steel. Yep, they were the first people to do this. Correct. And that's where they started realizing that, like, the shades, the variants, the changes are what was important in the metal in and of itself. And then if you did certain techniques, if you did certain tempering techniques or heat treatments and things like that, you could change the quality of the steel in and of itself up to a point. Let's put an asterisk there. You could change it up to a point. Now, I guess let's pause there and let's dissect that. What is the quality levels you can realistically achieve? Depending on the type of steel you have, if you have high quality steels, which you could find in Europe, because you had high quality irons with not a lot of impurities and stuff in it, you didn't need to go through a lot of different efforts. Instead, it was all about your heat treatment, your thermocycling, your capabilities of quenching it in a proper way. Water quenches, by the way, were falling out of fashion because water quenching is very, very difficult on steel. It's very tough on steel. That's where you get cracking. So a lot of them would use things like fats or oils or things like that to quench instead. They just needed a liquid medium that wouldn't be as harsh as water is. And if you've ever seen steel crack from water quenching, oh god, it is scary. Yeah. On the flip side, if you're from like Japan is a prime example of, they have terrible quality iron. Their steel is awful. Their iron is so bad, it's literally, it would fall under the European category of pig iron. It is atrocious. They figured out a way to do it, though. By folding the steel over and over again, you even out the impurities in it. And you instead trap them in and harden it. So you can bring up the quality to an extent, but a katana, like Japanese steel, will not be the same as like Krupp steel, right? Or Damascus steel. It physically can't. You can't get it that high with that many impurities in it. But that's the whole thing of like, that's where I find I am more, what's the way to put it? Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at though, Anti-Boy Scout, is that it's their stuff is bad. Yes, I agree. I agree with you. But we have different methodologies for it now. But this is where more like, I'm more impressed that Japanese smiths figured this out. You know what I mean? Like, far from being like, oh, their steel is shit. Ha ha ha, how dare you. I'm more impressed with the fact that they figured it out. That they figured out that folding it over and over again actually fixed a lot of the problems they had with their really low quality iron. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And for anyone that doesn't know, because things like that, thermal cycling and stuff like that is quite different. A lot of people think like, oh, you just heat it up and then, you know, when it's done, you heat it up and then you dunk it, right? Thermocycling is the concept where you actually heat it up to where you want it and then you let it cool slowly. And this slowing method actually allows it to harden and trap more of the impurities and improves the steel even more, right? Oh yes, that's where Tomahawk, Tomahawken or Tomahawk, one of the two. That's where it comes from. It was iron sand, which is brutal, absolutely brutal. Like, that's horrifying. Oh, anyways. So thermal cycling is you let it cool down slowly. And so what a lot of smiths will do is when they thermal cycle it, they will just grip it in the tongs and everything, and then they'll just carefully swing it back and forth, letting it slowly cool through agitation with the air, right? And this allows the steel to relax and ease in and trap in more of the impurities in a better structure. Because when you hard snap it, what causes cracking and things like that is your impurities not being like properly in alignment. Because you can't purify it entirely, right? You can get close, but it's not like silver where you can like actually purify silver. Oh god. I'm gonna get into the nitty-gritty details of this. Holy shit, this is such a surface level thing. I don't wanna go full tism on this. Yeah, in essence, a lot of these techniques, the fact that they figured them out is truly fascinating. To the point where they could actually create blast furnaces, which would churn out high quality spring steel all the time. All of the smiths of a medieval town or city would come together and operate the blast furnace to crank out a lot of high quality steel quickly so that they could all use it in their shops. And it's just that it's this like complete arrogance while at the same time being completely ignorant of the past that drives me nuts, right? That SciShow episode was so dog shit. Shadowversity had a good breakdown of it, of like how completely nonsensical, unresearched, fucking propagandized bullshit it was. And because that's all it was, it truly was. There was nothing of value there. It was so bad. It was so bad. Yeah, resist the tism. I know. I'm trying. I'm trying. But yeah, today, because we can use like different specialized equipment like telescope, or not telescopes, like microscopes and things like that, magnets and stuff, we can more easily dial in the exact quality of steel we want. And you might be saying, like, why don't you just do the highest quality steel? You don't need spring steel for everything, right? Like, and making spring steel, like, it's a lot of work and effort. If you don't need spring steel, it's a waste to put in all that effort to make spring steel. And sometimes the properties of the steel itself are not desirable. What if I don't want spring steel in my beams? What if I want my I-beams not to be able to bend and flex? We won't get to the writing for a good hour or two. Oh, I know. Mm. Oh, well, we're not gonna get to the writing I have done here for a second because my bowels just said hello. I will be right back. Wrong screen, but that's okay. You see what I'm up to. Alright. Yeah, I hadn't gotten too much written. Only like, not even half a page from last time. Seeing as you rewatched The Wolf is Dead stream to catch the bit you missed, I know the pig was telling a lie, but do you like... But do you like he could have told it better? No. Well, again, that's the point, right? Was we haven't been out there. Remember, that was what was at the end of The Wolf is Dead. What the guy we work for, the captain we work for, he specifically said, no. Like, we haven't been able to get people out there. Like, you haven't gone out there. Us as a character has not gone out there. Period. Right? So we were listening only from his perspective. The cracks in it are because the fox knew. He's like, no, that's all bullshit. I've actually been out there. I know it's there, right? Yeah. I should have been think, not like, okay. Yeah. Because remember, he has the department, he has the police department in his pocket. The pig does. And so he thinks that we're reporting to... He thinks we're reporting to his corrupt officials. Right? He thinks, okay, it's all going to be swept under the rug. This is my official statement, blah, 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 that needs to get out there, whatever. It's only the fox that tells us, by the way, I have the magic mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. And then you go, then that mirror actually takes you to what the actual crime scene looks like. And it's like, oh yeah, it's a fucking war zone. This was not a... This was... The pig was telling porkies. This was not even remotely close to what happened. My favorite one is that they show a spoiler. Hang on, let me show you this. There's a spoiler on the Steam page. Oh, whoops. I'll show you this. I have a wish listed, but there's a spoiler right on the Steam page. Like, right at the very start, this is what you see on their Steam page. Yeah, so like, ooh, neat. Neat. That should be fun. And by the way, in case, if you didn't have that video going, hold on, I'll show. If you didn't have that video going, it doesn't matter, because this is right underneath it. Into the past, about the game, into the past, and then they just have this GIF going the whole time. Yeah, I'm glad you suggested it too. I'll be interested. There's some English in it for sure, right? There's some English that needs to be fixed. But yeah, not bad. Not bad. I like the concept. I am so happy to see a game like taking the idea from the Oberdeen and actually like doing a murder mystery with it. That's pretty interesting. Okay. So let's get to a little bit. I've only done like a page more of writing, not too much. I got distracted too much yesterday with reading The Greatest Estate Developer. I'm getting near the end of it. And it's funny because The Greatest Estate Developer like ties into 3 other manhwa from the same guy. One of them is I Became the Dragon King's Head Chef. Or is that what that's called? Hang on. Let me get the name right. I Became the Chef of the Dragon King. That's what it is. That's one that ties directly into this. And then the other one is, was it the Prince who sells medicine? The Apothecary Prince, also known as the Crown Prince that sells medicine. Yeah, also ties into it. Yeah, so I was distracted a wee bit. Anyways, into the writings. Instead of a magical compass, the character is just autistic. Oh. Oh, man. I want to talk about, like, some of the more cool stuff in the settings that I have. Anyways. Jennifer had to struggle a bit to catch up to the 3 wolves, but she managed it all the same and walked beside Michael with curiosity worn on her sleeve. This quartet traveled in silence for a time, till the ranger chose to break that calm and speak. "Thank ye, lass, for your words. It'd be appreciated." This brought a smile to her face before Jennifer nodded her head. "Don't mention it. It's just the truth of it all. Mr. Wolf with 1 F. A chuckle came not only from her, but from Vidic, who wore a grin on his face, all while Jack looked over to her and shook his head. "Right. Nay, I need you to listen careful like, lass. There be a procedure for visiting to Aether. Sarah will have liked to go on ahead and let Einval, our chieftain, and the council know of ye coming, but I need ye to be on your best behavior at all times." Michael looked over to her and leaned his head forward some to add emphasis to his words before he turned back to focus on trekking through the woods. "And what about me?" Jack asked as he walked alongside Vidic, who turned his head to respond. Don't worry. You aren't the first false sulfur we have taken in or created. You'll be fine." Jack grumbled some at that thought, placing such a burden on anyone else, but thus far they had done nothing untoward with him. Was there something stopping that from happening, or was it just at their whim? They didn't need to hide their actions while this deep in the woods. There'd be no one around to find them or stop them here. These thoughts played in his mind while the group continued their journey for near an hour of walking. At last, something different broke up the journey. Maybe monotony. Yeah. Broke up the monotony as a howl came from nearby that was soon answered by one further away. Jennifer turned her head to look around, but Michael simply smiled and spoke up. "Tat be to outermost patrols. Another hour should do before we arrive." His words caused Jennifer to groan before she started to slow and looked at the ranger intently. "I'm ashamed to admit this, but my feet are getting sore. I guess I wasn't prepared for this pace. Oh well, can't be helped." Michael scratched his cheek some and thought for a time, before he dismissed the idea that came to his head. He could easily half-turn his true form and carry this pace forward. "Well, I could change to me true self if you need." Jennifer looked at him intently and waved a hand in a bit of embarrassment. No, no. It was just idle complaining. I'll be fine. Are you sure, Les? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but it hurts really bad to change, right? Michael nodded his head. But I don't want to cause you that pain just so you could carry me. It's not that much of a bother, and to be truthful like, me kind rather enjoy spending time as our true selves. Not sure how to best describe it, but it feels like... The ranger was searching for the right words when Vidic instead finished the thought. It's like we are overstuffed bags of luggage. Not enough to burst, but you just feel like you're being constrained. Being our true selves releases that tension from us. We don't feel constrained, we just feel normal. Oh, or think of it like wearing really tight pants. This brought a chuckle from Jennifer, who started to walk once more after having shaken her legs a bit. Equating it to eating a really big meal and needing to get in some slacks afterwards. Exactly. That's what we have up to now. Maybe there's just a little bit of a, like, trying to make people understand how they feel. I'm going to go into the 5 forms here for Jennifer's benefit and the reader's benefit. But essentially, it's not that they feel like... It's that they feel kind of like, you know, condensed, right? Like, you've ever had that feeling if you're in a really small bathroom or something, right? Or a really tight bathroom stall. You just feel like, man, I just feel like I got no room. That's just kind of how they feel. It's not something that will, like, make it awful. Like, they're not going to start sweating or be like, oh my god, I need release. But it's just that feeling of like, you know, I could be more comfortable. I'm a little uncomfortable. Imagine wearing some super tight pants. Ow. I shouldn't have done that to myself. I just took my pants, I just grabbed the 2 strings and I pulled them in opposite directions, just like, bam! Oh. Woofda. Okay. So, what else do we want to do today? Like I said, I didn't have much written because I was distracted. Alright, let's show some of the progress. I'm going to show what the general vibe we're going for looks like. This comes from Blade of Darkness. And then I'll show what he's got up to thus far. And then going back to add some more of those details to this. Yeah. So, this is kind of the general vibe we're going for what the sketchbook will look like, right? It's not going to be perfect, mind you, but this is kind of like this sort of grayscale imaging. You know, so it looks like somebody's like sketching in their sketchbook. And it's going to be from the perspective, that's what the first art pieces are going to be, is from the perspective of a wolf blood who is kind of like documenting, like, kind of what other wolf bloods need to know. Like, here's some of the information you're going to need to know. So again, this is the general vibe we're going for. This is, like I said, from Blade of Darkness. This is what we have thus far for Dimitri. This is obviously the Wolvaran true form. I told him, basically, I want to have the blade look shinier, or like it's glowing slightly, because it's obviously made from moonlight. But again, this is he's dialing it in, right? Dimitri's dialing in, like, the shading, the colorations, and everything. We're getting there. And again, part of this, adding in, like, the the bracer here, adding in these straps here. This stuff is going to be key because these are part of like what stows the clothing and what could be like tribal fetishes and stuff like that. And what I mean by that is the old, like, I don't know when it became a kink thing, but the old variant of what fetish means, where it's like a ritual, it has like religious significance, right? So these are like things of power that can be utilized and used above and beyond what they can already do with their inbuilt and innate abilities. Yeah, so this is what we have at the moment for the true form, and then he's going back and obviously like adding in some of this detail work, slowly refining everything into the other form. So here's like the Ulfhetner, right? Slowly just adding in the shadows, the shading, and everything like that, getting the details refined in. So yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along. And again, let me get to the very start of this. So you can remember kind of like the overall, what it's going to look like. So this is what it's, the overall, right? When all five forms are together. The Nightmare Wolf is going to be interesting because that's the one where it's the in-between, obviously, of the two. So, again, a bit of a more of an elongated neck. Its front paws are now hands. Like, there, if you saw that wolf, you would know that's no wolf. that is the scariest looking wolf I've ever seen, and that's just because again it's the transition between the two forms, right? Kind of like how the Ulfhetner is the transition between the normal human form and then the full Wolvaran form. So yeah, should be fun. Should be good. I'm liking it. The progress is coming along. The progress is getting there, and yeah, we'll. Can't wait to see what it looks like when it's all put together and all done. All done, yo. If not large friend, then why large friend shaped? That's one of my favorite shirts, by the way. Hang on. There are so many variants of this shirt. This is the one that Oliver the Wolf guy has. This is the shirt that he has. Like, unironically, Oliver the Wolf guy has this shirt. If not friend, why friend shaped? Anti-God translated again. Ballerina Wolp. Why? Why would it change? Ballerina Wolp change to Wolp Dancer. Yeah. What the fuck? Get translated, Anti-Boy Scout. Get translated. Sucks to suck, don't it? Okay. So I'm showing you how we're basically going to redo this as well. So obviously, I got my back layer here, which we'll get rid of. We got the layer we're going to actually be working with here at the top. I've got my background, which is just this transferred over. Yeah. Meow. Yeah. Meow. Shaking my legs out a little bit. Alright. So essentially, I'm just going to copy over the lines that we have here and then redo them so it's not so small and finicky, right? I'll show you, like, look at it again, look at it in comparison to the rekkr, right? The rekkr just looks so much better. I mean, it looks more full. You know, this looks more like scratches. This looks really, like, distorted. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look like something made these with like, dragging claws through, whereas this does. This does look like somebody jaggedly just ripped their claws through something. There. So, what I'm going to do is, we're basically going to relay the lines at their thickness that they are, and then I'm going to go back through, and we're not going to have as much of these little tiny things. We're going to have more like big rips and tears and stuff like that throughout it, which should give the desired effect we want to make it more like this, where they're big chunks and rips. It looks like it's been torn. Alright. First off, I want to say that this was like 20, maybe? Let me check. Oh! Well, that's not helpful. No, okay, so maybe 30 is what this is? Or 25, one of the two. It looks to be like a 30. Maybe 25. Let's try 25. Because again, I'm just going to lay it right over the top of where it was. Yeah. No, I think 30. I think 30 is right. I think it's just, this is just too small. I think it's just too small. 25 might be on these. Yeah, this is a 25. Okay. So these are 25s. This is a 30. Oh, you know what we probably did? I probably did the circle tool and then just cut it. Right? Yeah, that's probably what I did. Let's just do circle and cut it. Not a circle, you dingus. There you go. Come over here. We're just gonna shunk and shunk. Okay. That'll be the start of it. All right. Yee. 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 Oh, wait, hang on, wait. I want to do this proper. Okay, so we got the baseline there. Now I need to do this layer. Has these. Has that one. And this one. Oh, no. Hang on. Control C. Next layer. Control V. Up a little bit. A little bit, okay. And next layer. Control V. And so they can be more lined up with each other. You know what I mean? More accurately lined up. Control V. Okay. And again, if we add a little bit or take away a little bit, that's fine. That's totally fine. But now these are all lined up with each other, so we can merge them all down. And then we come up here and make a new one. Deselect. That's pretty close. How's this look without this? I think that's close enough for government work, right? Slightly forward a little bit. Okay. And then next layer. Slightly forward a little bit. Next layer. Okay. And now to double check and make sure. The one is slightly off. Hang on. This one right here. Slightly off. That's better. Okay. There we go. So now that we got this all together. And now do the next layer. Make you visible. 25 might be too much on this. Let's do 20. Yeah, okay. That's what we definitely want. Alright, get rid of that. Okay. Okay, and then again, checking. Alright, I think... Take this one. Move it up a little bit more. There we go. Balances it through. Okay. Yeah, chat, I think we are good. Whoa, we're good to start. So then we just merge, merge, merge. There we go. Fantastico. And now because we have the elements properly separated out, we can work and focus on each one as we go. Because the rips and tears would only happen in their associated, like, layer without the other layers being involved. Obviously, the last layer. So, first claw swipe. Make the dark crescent that's part of the gibbous moon. Second claw swipe. Make the bands across. Third claw swipe. You're bringing your claws through, and you're making the kind of like whimsical sheet music. And the last claw strike is to be the, like, strength. Okay. Yeah. I think we're ready to begin. Ready to begin the carvening. Okay. So then we're going to keep a decent size. Let's get rid of that layer. Like 90. Okay, what we want, we need to keep directionality in mind, right? So how would things tear when you're going through? You want the loops towards where the claws. So if the claws start here and they come through, you want our loops, so things like this curve, you want it in this direction, right? Pointing towards where the initial start of the line is. Because that's how something would tear, right? When you think of like how things like would bend or twist or break out of the way, it's going to break in this manner. So let's get a tin brush. A little bit of jaggedness. Let's do a tear in this direction. Out the other side with a bit of jaggedness. Jaggedness going. I'm going to put a tear right here. Yeah, see, already that looks a lot better than it did. I can get rid of this. You see what I mean? See how the tears are just too small? It looks too distorted. This looks more like, you know, something's actually ripping its way through. And even that, we can go back through and we can even edit these more by just taking the black and then coming in and, you know what I mean? Like roughing up the tear a bit itself. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it gets thin right here. Oh my god, that song's stuck in my head now. My nephew started playing that. Ba ba black sheep, have you any soul? Yes sir, what the hell are morals? It's just like that song. It's not a great song or anything like that, but it's an earworm. It gets stuck in your head. Ooh, that's a little too much. Let's cut that away a bit. So where not having a steady hand is actually very helpful. I want it to sweep up because the claw is moving in this direction. And then sweep up and finish out. Maybe like a final tear, like right here. Okay, I'm gonna put the next layer back in. All right. Maybe I'll extend that out more, maybe. Extend it out a little bit more. Because remember, it's the claw. This is like the claw is coming out at the end, and it just tears that last little bit. So it makes it more like refined, and then we'll mess up the like a little more jagged. Put those on. Yeah, okay, that's better. That's better. Right. Now again, same thing here. Gonna get rid of this layer. Then get rid of this layer. And because we got plenty of room to work with here. And if we bump in between the two, that's fine. Like, that's totally fine. First, let's kind of mess it up a little bit here. Whoa! Undo that. Get on the right layer. Thank you. You know what? Let's down to like a 6. Okay, don't get in too close. I don't want to get in too close and get too... We don't want to do like a bunch of fine detail work. We want it to be like proper rips and tears and all that stuff through. Hang on. Is that too small? I think that's too small. I think all that's way too small. So let's go back up to 9. Whoops. So that'll force us to... deal with all this. And then we'll go back through and we'll clean up this side too. That'll be fine. I should have kept them all separated out. That's okay. We've already made our bed, so we're gonna lie in it. Lie in it. We already made our bed, so we'll lie in it. Again, this one, claws are just going straight down, so kind of work our way a little, oops, work our way a little bit. Off, okay. Yeah. Maybe I'll add another rip in here. And then okay. I can get rid of these. You can see the background. Yeah, I think it looks a lot better. I just should have kept these all separated out, so that way I could have worked on them individually easier. You know, we'll re-separate them out here. That won't be difficult. Because I'll just do this. Copy it. Paste. Whoa. I don't know why you moved. Paste. Okay. No, back here. You. Copy it. Paste. Okay. And then paste. Okay. Again, a bit scuffed, but you know, that's what I get for jumping the gun too much, moving them down. And then I'm going to come here, and we're going to 100 it, and we're just going to undo. Oh, I see why. Hold on. Deselect. That's what I thought. It's to 100 now. Alright. There we go. And we'll know for the future that I'll separate them all out before. Oops. Chutzpah. Oh, chat. Not the most difficult work, but again, just takes time. You know what? Actually, let's dig. This one, let's. Make this more interesting. Okay. I think this middle section here needs a bit more like aggressive marking. Yeah. I think I'll do the same thing over here. A bit more aggressive. Right here. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking that looks a lot better. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, fuck. Miss Woods, would you like to see me fetishes? Woods. Hey, I showed you mine. Let me see yours. Oof. Not them kind of fetishes, lass. Not them kind of fetish, lass. uh. When some will make a definitive claim about a piece of media, that's what? That's popular? It's getting popular with the right? What? I guess I need examples, because that didn't sound like it. This one we're gonna have a little bit of a difference. There we go. Go on, Rupper. I don't think that's... doesn't sound common. I said I'd need examples of people doing it. You're saying it's become popular on the right. Doesn't sound popular to me. This just sounds like normal consumer brain. Right? The don't think about it crowd. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Well, if you just don't think about it. X thing is sexist or racist, then say it's just my opinion. I mean, that's not hard to disprove or prove one way or the other. Is it sexist or is it racist? Like, it's not hard to go one way or the other. Again, I guess I haven't seen people doing that and then backing away from it and be like, no, there's no fucking way. Again, that just screams more like common shield. Like, I'm sure there's probably somebody out there that's done it. There's always someone out there. You can always find at least one example of someone, right? That's why the whole, like, that's a way to put it. a bunch of straw man stuff has been debunked because there are people genuinely like that, right? Like, oh, you're just making a straw man, and then you show people that, and they're like, oh my god. Well, at least the more honest ones are like, oh my god, because they couldn't believe somebody's actually done that before, right? That's how we make fun of the left now for doing the whole, like, this fictional character totally believes in the mental illness rights. And they never have. It's a thing EFAP saw quite a bit. This character is X, it's just my opinion, when the film says the character is Y. Yeah, that's that whole, the Suicide Squad thing, where Polka Dot Man, they're like, oh, he's just trying to get attention. But that's not been carried through anywhere else throughout the film. Like, he's always been trying to avoid the center of attention. Why suddenly does he want the center of attention? Just out of nowhere. When all the rest of the film, he's been avoiding that center of attention the entire time. Yeah, that was the director that said that you know, oh, Polka Dot Man here is just seeking attention. It's like, what? When? He's never been an attention seeker the entire time throughout the rest of the film. What do you mean he's seeking attention now? Like, now you need to explain to me why he's seeking attention in this moment right now. Whereas before, like, what it looks like to the audience is that he's the only one that gave a shit about their driver who decided to tag along and help them because the driver was just a genuine good guy. I hate when directors pretend they're the writers. Oh, I do too. I absolutely hate it too. Yep. 100%. Again, I've seen the movie. Like, he is not an attention seeker. In fact, he shies away from the spotlight every chance he can get. That's why it doesn't make any sense that he's suddenly like, oh no, he's totally he's just attention seeking. Like, but that's never been present throughout the entire rest of the film. Like, what do you mean he's attention seeking now? Can't let a white man be a victim or a hero. Man, that's true. yeah, this is all just getting to be. So let's thicken it out here. Shunt in. And maybe this one tore in multiple places down here. He's can happily contradict what the text says for the theme. Remember, Poe is a rash incompetent who got his squadron killed, saving the entire fleet. Yeah. Oh. It is fun that Star Wars got destroyed at the box office by an indie film. Speaking of, hold on a second. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. Speaking of, it's on YouTube Movies only. I mean, that makes sense, right? Yeah. So it is on YouTube. We can watch it. You know what? That's what we'll do for Saturday Showtime. I've never been really interested in Iron Lung, but we're gonna watch it on YouTube. We're gonna watch it for Saturday Showtime. How about that? It is available to rent for $4.99 or buy it for $9.99. Yeah. I thought it might be on Amazon, but it's not. But again, it being on YouTube, that makes sense. Honestly, given it's from Markiplier. What? Oh, shit. Yeah, here you go, chat. We're going to switch back over for you guys. There we go. I think this needs to be distorted a bit more. Okay. Yeah, I don't blame people for not going to the theater. Now we can merge all that together, and now we got to fix this layer. Okay. I need to come in here. I need to take each one and individually make it its own. So before we mess or do anything else with it, I need to come in here and Control C, Control V. C. Control V. Control C. Control V. Now come in here. Remove that stipulation. 100. Okay, and then do that to clean up the top. Check, double check, double check. There's nothing there. Nothing there. Except now I'm realizing all the gunk on my screen. Good God. No, not at all. And I gotta agree with people like the Sony, the State of Play thing was boring as shit. There was the cool dinosaur horror game. That looked interesting. But no, the Sony State of Play looked terrible. Turn on this fan. All right. Ten. Bit. 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 Yeah, a lot of people were like, oh God, Until Dawn 2? Oh God. Yeah, that's what we want. We want more of a god-awful, terrible horror games with no choices. And this, because they're sweeping up. Oh shit. That was way too much. There we go. Beers, yeah. Bar fighting, yeah. Burgers, yeah. Alright, that was the annual meeting of the BS. See you next week. That was, whatever. Let's see. I remember some Let's Player had guessed the plot of Until Dawn 1 right off the bat. It's just a prank bro, a Native American burial ground. On a side note, I have been enjoying my time with the game Esoteric Ebb. Never heard of it. Fuck me, is she actually dead? Did she run off on her family to pursue her own interests and career? And what? What are you talking about? I feel like one of your messages might have gotten gotted. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wacky racer right there. Whoa, wacky racer. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Don't really care. It's too wacky racer. I need to get rid of it. It's too wacky racer. Dost thou not care? No, I do not. And then come in here. Hey, Prosecutor Valentine, welcome, welcome. I was working on changing the clawglyphs. Yeah, you going all right? Take care, Andy Boy Scout. No, it wasn't too clean. I'll show you. Again, it's not too clean. It doesn't look like it's actually ripping through things. Look at it in comparison of this. This looks like these are tearing through something, right? This doesn't. This looks a lot better towards like this shit is being ripped through a material. Now, it's not perfect. I'll definitely have to tweak it some more, but it's a lot better than it was. Oh, fuck. Wrong layer. Right layer. Stop! What? You're on the wrong layer! Oh, shit. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. We need to fix that. Oh, that's on that layer. Ew. Clean it. Okay. Keep that one for now. Not surprised, but of course one of the last manly video game characters has been replaced by a woman. Yeah. Boy. God, though, I can't wait for... Like, the best timeline will be when the Video Game Awards then, in and of themselves, go away. Like, forever. That'll be the best timeline. When Jeff Keighley's rot and infection is just yeeted, deleted from it. They never ever should have had company influence. Like, the fact that the companies make up 80% of the vote is stupid. Like, the companies, if you want to give them a little bit, it should be the opposite. They should get like 20% of the vote. And that's it. That's me being fucking generous, too. Ah, fuck, wrong way. That's wrong. Well, that's because Sony is obsessed with video game movie. Like, they are, and to be fair, what's been the most successful for Sony? And it's been these game movies, right? That's why I gotta agree with Fleekazoid so much. Like, first they came for the AAA industry, and you couldn't get me to shut the fuck up about it. Seriously. And I was the same way. I got tired of these, oh great, like, they're just total cinematic single-player movies that have gameplay. That's it. Yeah, they're blockbusters selling millions, exactly. And then, like I said, you then see the opposite side of it, where they try to do stuff that's more gameplay-focused, and they don't sell well. And part of that is because Sony doesn't give up the attention it needs, but another part of it is that they just don't have studios that prioritize games in and of themselves. And keep in mind that Sony's movie games aren't even that good, well written to begin with, which is fucking annoying. Like, The Last of Us 2 was utter dog shit. Terrible writing, terrible mechanics, Like, it was just bad. Yeah, that looks really nice, actually. The Jack games have better writing. Unironically, yes. I don't think I ever played those. Like, a little bit. Oh, also, whenever Itako comes around again, we need to ask him, does he want us to start what the car, because he's already beat the threshold for playing it once on stream. Or does he want to wait until he hits the play it to finish? And if you guys don't remember, What the Car is the sequel to What the Golf. What the Car. That's the one he wants. Nine. Yeah, his What the Golf was a kooky, wacky, like, comedy adventure where they started taking, like, what it means to be a golf ball and going crazy with it. Like, at first it was just normal putt-putt golf, basically. And just like, oh, you're just playing golf. And then you would eventually get to where you were playing, like, a survival horror game, and then you were playing a runaway golf ball that couldn't stop, and you had to use, like, your hits to dodge them out of the way of traffic and stuff. Oh, my God. It was fucking kooky. It was a crazy adventure. Or the ones where the golf ball was now in a slingshot, and you'd have to slingshot him into, like, the goal and stuff like that. Where you had to change gravity mechanics as the ball was rolling. Just there, all kinds of fun stuff that they did with it. And What the Car looks the exact same. What the Car... Hang on, let me show this. What the Car... I need to do it like this. Boom, that way you guys can see it. Already, the first screenshot, you can already tell.
What the car?
This is exactly what the golf was like too. This is exactly what the golf was like as well. Hang on. Super punch. Oh yeah. For people who hate golf. Like I said, yeah, it's the exact same. They kept that humor and they carried it into What the Car. What the car? Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, so Itako has reached the $300 threshold, so we're going to be playing What the Car at some point on stream. I just need to know, he needs to come in and tell me, hey, do you want that to be a one and done stream? Or do you want that to be the full game stream, so you want to wait till you hit the 400 mark? Because remember, we do it where you can build up to it over time. There's no time limit. There's no, like, it doesn't expire. This isn't like your fucking Kroger Rewards card or whatever. The points don't expire. You build up to it over as long a period as it takes you. No, I don't think he's here at the moment, but he'll come in every now and then and he'll drop a super chat, and that's what he builds up towards. That's what he's building up towards, is the super chats. Now I can't do the same thing for the memberships because YouTube takes an unknown amount from the memberships. They don't really share their exact like breakdown of how much they take away. And YouTube does take away from the super chats as well, but it's tolerable. That's why I should set up the Ko-Fi, right? Ugh. That way people can just get it and then they get their thing. Because it's one of those things where, like, if you give me $100 in memberships, but YouTube takes 75% of that, I don't fucking know how much they take. I know they're at least taking 50. You know, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty fucking rough. We don't want to get too close. When you're in the weeds of it, okay. Now, put this layer back on. It's absolutely looking a lot better. Yeah, I'm thinking this is looking a lot better thus far than this. I don't know why the screen goes black every now and then. It looks more like proper tears now. Like something's clawing through something. It's looking a lot closer towards this. Which I kind of have this as like what I think the gold standard should be. Okay. Let's see, is there anything I feel like... Any spots that stand out real bad? There's two I see that stand out bad. Okay, that takes care of that one. And then on this layer... Okay. Alright. We're almost finished. We got to do the last 4 bars. Okay. So now, move all these down together. This is where they're going. Last 4 bars. And so I need to split the layers and let's go with it. So, beep. Whoops. Wrong one. Right one. Whoa. Try that again. Thank you. Wait. Something wrong about that one? Okay. Alright. Because I didn't notice it here in the preview bar. That's why I was like, what? Okay, and then we're going to come in here. And I'm going to get rid of this. And we're going to 100 it. And we're going to 100 it. And we're going to... I don't see nothing. And I really do need to clean my monitor. Good God. You don't notice it until you're on a bright white screen and you see all the little speckles and dots and stuff. It's like, ew, gross. Ew, gross. Ew. Ew. Some of that's got to be sneezes and stuff. Ew, gross. Right. Just not shine a black light on it. Oh my God, I can only imagine. From all the sneezing and everything. Oh my God. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about any other biological functions being up there. Maybe like from slurping noodles and stuff. Because I do love my ramen. I love me ramen. Alright. Make this one a little more pointed. I don't know why I just suddenly got reminded of that show. I love the 90s. Was it the 90s or was it the 80s? I think it was the 90s where it was the dancing baby. That meme was fucking everywhere. Because it was so, like, bad, but inoffensive. It was just one of those, like, creepy dancing baby. I don't even remember what Dancing Baby was from. I can't remember if it was like from a movie or from a sitcom. A little too banged up, maybe. Come in here a bit. And... oh, up here. Hold on. This needs some attention. This needs some attention. Oop. This one will be a little more rounded. Little cuts in here. Now this would look if I had one here that didn't break at all. You know what I mean? Didn't have these flaps. I'm gonna try that. Go through with one that doesn't have any flaps. Just be like the material held up for this slash. It just has these little peaks and valleys. Whoops, too much. Like essentially it was wanting to break, but it didn't. Curious how that looks. Because this one's going to have the same cuts like that. I think it looks fine next to it, just to make it so that they're not all tearing, you know? Yeah. Still looks like a slash through. But it looks like more of the material held up to the boost. Something. Beep. 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 Alright, next layer. Wulvarin. One more material does not tear even when scratched. Your mother's fat ass. Oh. By the way, there is odd moments like that because the Wulvarin lives so long. If they take, so for example, if they pair with a wolf blood, because wolf bloods don't have extended lifespan. They have a few other like benefits to them. They're a little bit stronger, a little more durable, but they're, for all intents and purposes, they're just people plus, right? They have a little bit, they have some benefits here, and their scent. Obviously, their scent gives them away as being the species, the blood that they are. But in general, they don't have like super strength or anything like that, or lots of longevity. They have a little bit longer lifespan, but not much. We're not talking like, you know, an extra 50 years. We're talking maybe like 10 more years. So what happens sometimes is a Wulvarin takes a wolf blood mate. The wolf blood mate never awakens. They eventually die. Wulvarin goes on, and those children that they have with that first group are there. And then they take another mate later, and you have the huge difference between them, right? Because like they might take another mate 100 years later. And then it gets into this whole like I'm your older brother by 115 years. But then you can get into weird situations too, where because they're still old enough, like into where a younger generation, oh god, what's the way to put this? Fuck it. You can understand why long lifespan and ages would have some fucky-wucky things happen. That's why they have to be very careful about like people spotting them and stuff like that. They have to after a certain amount of time change their appearance just so they can function still in the modern world. In the old days, who gave a shit, right? Because people aren't going to remember, those people die off, stuff like that. Now you have photographic evidence, stuff like that, that lingers around, that doesn't forget. Now, originally, they could take care of that with the right of the forgetful record, right? Not possible anymore. Like that can't happen anymore. So, and that's because the way databases work, cloud storage, streaming, they can take care of it in a local area. They can't get rid of it over everywhere. So they have to change their appearance after so many years. You have to just that person has to go away, right? It's same thing would happen for Jonathan Ulfither and everything like that, right? He would have to change his appearance. He's 202 years old. And he can kind of keep a similar appearance because he's not really in the public spotlight. But even so, he still has to be fucking careful because he can't like go to premieres or anything like that, or he can't let anyone look too closely. It's why Esmeralda Davari doesn't know what he actually looks like. She fell in love with the wolf, not knowing what the man behind it looked like. She doesn't know that Jonathan Ulfither is the wolf she fell in love with. Because Jonathan doesn't interact that much in his normal Mother form with the talent. Because he doesn't want to have to change his face. He doesn't want to have to change his form. And when I say this, I mean, they have to go through, it's a very particular type of ritual that allows them to kind of shape and mold it. They can't change, like, biological functions of themselves. There's none of that nonsense in here. But they can change their appearance. Like, they can stiffen their nose, they can break it so it looks, so it obviously looks broken, maybe bulbous it a little bit, swell it, change their cheek definition. But it takes time and it takes effort. Yeah, there's no, like, changing of biological function. That doesn't fucking work. This is a little too right here. This is a little too. What if I cut it here instead? That looks better. That looks better. Yeah, longevity of life causes some mishaps. Just because it naturally would, right? And it also gets in that same function of, like, if you are faithful, if any of the Vordir are faithful to one mate, and that mate dies, like, and then 200 years later, you fall for someone else, are you being unfaithful to the mate you were faithful to begin with? And I'd argue no. Again, for however long a time, like, you weren't chasing someone else. You didn't do it while the person was alive. You weren't actively seeking. You weren't tempted away. This is after the person's long gone. They're not there anymore. There's nothing there. Sure, they're waiting for you in the divine realms, but the way the divine realms work is very fucking different, right? That person doesn't have to wait there the entire time. They kind of know the gist of it is that, hey, your love, they're not done on the mortal realm. Now, they can argue if they can get into the poll where some of them don't appreciate that it happens, but it's like, what do you want? Like, your lifespan is just that much shorter. And it wasn't like he cheated on you. He or she cheated on you. They mourned you. They loved you. They mourned you. They eventually moved on. Because they have to. Life is for the living. Now, obviously, if somebody's like, they pick somebody up at the funeral, you know, fucking scorn the shit out of that person. You're like, okay, no, you're just a bad person. You're just a piece of shit. But otherwise, what do you want? Like, what do you want them to do? You want them to carry on that forever? I know, they must eternally mourn me forever and be depressed and fall victim to the hells and, you know, have their soul destroyed. I don't like either of those. Do it like that. Chop there. Good news, we're going to live forever. I didn't say that. Yeah, that's the whole point too behind the divine realms and the way they function is that you build up points. There's a point system in the divine realms. And this point system allows you to reincarnate based on the number of points you have collected. So, if you're someone who wants to reincarnate as a Wolvarin, a Revorin, a Barovin, whatever, or you want to be a wizard in your next life, you want to have that gene in you, you need certain point thresholds when you go to reincarnate. And that's for the same thing. Marax's mate did it for the same reason that he did everything, was that a divine realm that doesn't change, eternity is a long time. Like, you need to understand, Dragonkind can handle like an unchanging thing for a long time, but how does a normal person handle that? Knowing day in, day out, things don't change. That's why there's weather systems in the divine realm. That's why you can actually grow things in the divine realm. You don't need to eat. You won't get sick or anything. But that's why there are actually things to do. You can build things in the divine realm. You can go and travel. You can see things. You can visit people. Like, there's all kinds of things you can do. And the reincarnation is like the ultimate form of that. It's like, if you think you're finally done, and you want to give it another go and experience something completely different, you have the chance of reincarnating. No, not in life. No. This is in the afterlife. This is in the divine realm itself. You don't get points directly for. You get a placeholder. If you want to reincarnate, if you're a Wolvarin and you want to reincarnate as a Wolvarin again, you can do that. If you're a mage, you want to reincarnate as a mage again, you can do that. But if you want to do something different, then you have to actually earn the points in the divine realm. Uh-oh. What layer is this on? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What layer is that on? What? Hello? Oh, no. Wait. It's on one of these, isn't it? What? What layer is this? Ah, there it is. Found you. Found you, you little fuck. I found you, you little fuck. You little fecker. Oh. You little gobshite. I found your ass. And I dealt with your ass. No, but it's the same thing, right? Like, again, you might have been joking, but it's a good opportunity to talk about how the system functions and actually works. Like, again, you don't need to eat in the divine realm, but if you want to make yourself a nice meal, go for it. It's the same thing, too, where you don't need to work out or do things like that. Like, again, you're not alive. You are dead. But if you want to try to change yourself for the better, go for it. You'll get points for that. You're actively, like, working at things and changing things and trying to, like experiment. So what if you don't reincarnate and you're just there? Again, it's eternity. But as Maraxus himself said, eternity is a long time. So he wants to give people the option to reincarnate if they want to. Yep. It's forever and ever. And that's, again, that's why things actually change in the divine realms. That's why stuff happens. And remember, there's not just, like, the way the divine realms works is they're, like, they're great plains, right? There's great plains, there's deserts, there's mountains. It's like a world in and of itself. But you could physically walk to, like, the god of death's domain, or the god of oaths, the duty, and honors domain. You can go to the god of justice domain. Like, you can walk there. They're all interconnected, but they all have their own separate planes connected to the divine realm. It's why the divine palace, the emperor's palace, moves. And it moves in a very, like, it's disconcerting for people when it actually moves near them. But essentially, the world starts to tilt. And then it turns upside down. And from your experience, you actually feel that it's turned upside down. And then you'll notice in all of the reflections, if you are looking towards where the palace will be, you start seeing the reflections start writing the palace into existence. And then the world snaps back straight ahead and the palace is there. They always try to announce that the palace is moving into an area by ringing the bells. When the bells are ringing, it means the palace is coming. So to give people kind of a chance to prepare for, like, hey, we're moving the palace, we're coming near you. Brace yourself. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Okay. Let's see. This one being the pinky. I'll make it a little, like, I'll make it a little sharp too. When you put your hands, your pinky curls quite a bit. Alright. Yeah. So, That's how you can actually get around to places. That's how you can actually traverse and travel and see different things. Now, there might be rules, and those rules are dependent on the god who controls that area. Like maybe you can't come inside. If you aren't directly associated with that god, maybe you're literally kept at the boundary. You're not allowed in. There are other gods that allow visitation. And then there are obviously gods that are like, you know, violently expel you. They'll let you inside only so they can throw your ass out. And then each of those, like, realms. So, what's a good way to put it? Okay, think of the Divine Realm as, like, we've been doing a lot of Elder Scrolls Online. Think of the Divine Realm as if it's Oblivion itself. It's the dimension of Oblivion. That's what the Divine Realm is. And then, within Oblivion, you have all the realms of the different Daedric princes. That's what the, like, God realms are. They are connected to Oblivion, they are a part of Oblivion, but they are separate in and of itself, right? And then the gods in that realm have total control in that realm, in their divine realm. And then Meraxes technically has, because the way he's the one that shaped everything, he has control over everything, but he's given that control also to Cordysoth and to Storyteller. And then each of the realms is very, like, it's very much shaped to the whims of the god that controls it. And like I said, Cordysoth and Meraxes basically control all of it along with Storyteller. They basically control the entirety of it because they control the Divine Realm in and of itself. But they kind of, like, allow each of the gods to, like, you know, I could come in as, like, the homeowners association and be like, no, fuck you. But I'm not going to do that because I'm not a dick. That's basically the way that the aspects look at it. They're like, we could force you to do this, and we will if you do something really fucking stupid. But otherwise, you know, it's your realm. Do what you want with it. But if you start trying to, like, tunnel into somebody else's realm, we're going to come in and bitch slap your ass. You're like, no, bad, bad. I'm getting the spray bottle. Bad. Like, but he's my mortal nemesis. We're literally polar opposites. I don't care. You stay on your side. He's the god of madness. I'm the god of order. This is bullshit. Can I at least slap him with a glove? By the way, I am absolutely... When the dragon god of madness becomes more like the antagonist of the setting, when the more of the darker gods become the kind of focus of the setting after the line to the hells is severed. And remember, the god of madness, like, he'll explain, like, the reason he's not fucking with the rest of the gods is because he's like, well, I may be insane, but I'm not crazy, you know? Because he understands, like, if the hells win, he goes away, all of them go away. The hells take everything. There is no room for anything else but the hells. So it's one of those, yeah, he's insane, but he's not stupid. his brain functions enough to be like, yeah, but then I lose all my toys. And it's the same thing for all the gods. Like, even the ones that are a bit more, a bit darker in personality. They're like, yeah, we lose everything, right? No, Mom. The difference is that one's a state of being and the other's mental sickness. And I'm absolutely, by the way, I'm absolutely doing it. I'm gonna make sure that people know it's an homage. But I'm absolutely gonna find some way to have the Dragon God of Madness, like, have two different versions of himself, and then the other version of himself, like, reveals it was him the whole time. It was me the whole time! Were you surprised? Huh? I was surprised. I'm 100% doing that. Somewhere in one of the timelines, that's absolutely happening. And I will make sure that people know it's an homage to Sheogorath in ESO. Because it's way too funny. That is way too good of a line. Especially for, like... Oh, by the way, I have seen people choose the other options in that quest, by the way. For people that turn around and say Sheogorath, Sheogorath, Sheogorath. Or the other person, like, are actually saying his name backwards 3 times. Like, genuinely so. If you say his name backwards 3 times, he's like, what? How did you? What? That shouldn't be possible. If you turn away from him and say Sheogorath, 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 he's like, oh, I knew I should have said frontwards. Ah, well. And then, of course, as you saw with us, when you say, he's like, say my name backwards 3 times. My name backwards 3 times. He's like, oh, you took the words right out of my mouth. It's so good. Sheogorath's great. Sheogorath is genuinely, like, he is so much fun. Unironically. Like I said, I think he'd be one of the worst Daedric princes to deal with if you actually were susceptible to falling to madness. Otherwise, I think he would be a ton of fun. If you were, like, not at risk of being held prisoner by him forever, I think he would be a genuine blast to hang out with. It was me the whole time. Were you surprised? I was surprised. Oh, God, that little giggle. That little giggle is so good. Whoops. Okay. Put it all together, and what do you got? Yeah. Again, comparison-wise, this is the old, the new. Hang on, can I put them in, like, the same position? Or what if we... That's close enough, right? So, again, I'll take off the back, or I'll do this so it'll be easier to see. All right. Okay. So, old one, new one. Old one. New one. I think I might take a couple more chunks out of this thing here. Yeah, this looks much more like it's been ripped, right? This just looks kind of fuzzy. This one actually looks like something tore through it. They slashed it. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna add a little more tears here. This is all good, so I'm gonna put them together. Jump to here. Take you away. Let's tear this up a little more. A little more stuff like right here. Sharpen it a bit. Tear here as well. Sharpen it a bit. Sharpen that into more of a point. Yeah. I think this is looking a lot better. Okay. Yeah. Much better. Much better. It actually looks like tears. Although I might fix this up a little bit. Look at this. This is a little... I think it's a little ridiculous. Yeah. We'll fix that up a little bit. Let's come in here. Flip flop that. Oops. Sharpen that as like a point. There we go. A little better. Okay. Right. All right. Ship it. Alright, delete you, delete you. Okay. Clawglyphs. For Hjaldrskald. Clawglyph. V3. Yes. Save it. Save it. And now, if I take the V2, pull it away. Whoop. Okay. We should have this thing above my head should be updated. It's trying, look, it's looking for the one, it's missing it. It should update now. So, speja, I want to work on next. We got the guthi. The speja one is literally just thickening up the two. Okay. Oh wait, I forgot. I need to change off scene first. So I need to go like, beep. Beep. Ah, it's not working. Ree. Ree. Let's try this. Hold on. Properties. Okay. Yeah, the one's not working. Okay. Boo, boo, hiss, boo. Boo, it's not working. Boo, boo, boo. Yeah, so for the speja one, I just want to increase the thickness of the two sides for it, right? Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to properties view. Alright, let's see if this works. Come on, baby. Come on. There we go. Yes. Perfect. Thumbs up. So for the speja one, I want to thicken those two side ones. Because it's supposed to be like, it's supposed to indicate the full moon, but obviously it's been, it's obviously dark, the dark full moon. The dark moon, because it's the new moon. No light on the moon. Alright. Also, I'm going to make myself some food. I'm hungry. Let me lower the desk. Going on a journey chat. Chat, you're leaving me behind. Goodbye, chat. Goodbye. Alright. Oh. Now, let me adjust the camera. Hi. Oh, nope. A little lower. Okay. Yeah. Right. So I think the speja one needs a little bit of touch up. The guthi one, the domari, and the rekkr are perfect. The Hjaldrskald looks way better than it did. Yeah. Yeah. And again, the speja, the outside rings, I think needs a touch up. Other than that, yeah, no, we're pretty good. Pretty good. All right, let me go get some food. Get some food. And we'll, I'll talk what we should do. BRB a momento. Alright then, back, chat. I'm back. Oh, excuse me. I'm having butter noodles. That's it. It is angel hair pasta with some leftovers, and I'm putting slap some butter on it, some sea salt, and some pepper. That's it. Mmm. Best way to get rid of leftovers. Alright, chat. What? What shall we do? What shall we do? What shall we do? Yes, generally you do eat leftovers in order to get rid of them, Strikes. Okay, funny guy. Okay. Mm. Oh, you know what I should have put? I should have put some lemon pepper seasoning on it. That's okay. That's okay, I just want to get rid of it now. Mm. Wait, they had another game called What the Oh, it's VR only. That's why Itako skipped it. It's VR only. What the bat? Okay. Huh? Have I spelled Wolvern with an O? Should be a U. I did. What the fuck? Oh, back originally. Yeah. So, last year. Yeah, then we changed it to a U. Okay. Yep, that's my bad then. I'll fix that. Let's go back and fix all those then. And get rid of... Wolvarin. Boom! Dead. Jump. Wolvarin. Boom, dead. Boom, dead. Boom, dead. Boom, dead. Boom, diada, boom, diada, boom, diada, boom, diada. Boom, diada, boom, diada, boom, diada, boom, diada. Boom, diada, boom, diada, boom, diada, boom, diada. Okay. Whoa. Go back to this message. Go back to this message. I don't know why we jumped. Yeah, save. Okay. And Wolvarin. Wolvarin. Alright, save. Okay, check again. Jump. Whip. 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 Save. Alright, juke. Alright, we're good. We're good. It's being fixed. Alright, there we go. Yeah, that's right. We're going back in time to fix my typos. Yeah. Go for it. Go for it. Yeah. Fixing them. He's gonna take you back to the past to fix the typos that should not last. Wait, what? There's a Bleach reference. That's his sword in the new God of War game? That's not his sword. That's a stretch. Because his sword's a katana, and then they show like a not katana. And like, oh, it's a reference. Are you sure? That's what I mean, right here. This shit. That's not a reference. Yeah. Like, his sword's a katana, and then here's a not katana with frills. Like, just because it's a cube? That's all it takes? You shouldn't feel like a moron for missing it. I don't know why this person feels like a moron for missing it. They're not the same sword! They're not the same sword! Ah, it's just in a cube. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, that's funny. I'm saving that. Memes. It's gonna be burn calories. Ugh. All right, chat. All right. What else is there? I'll make sure for hopefully next week we'll get some more. I'm hoping. Dimitri has been doing such good work. I want to see more stuff from him. Then we can maybe round out the cool thing we're gonna do with like adding in like jotted down notes and stuff like that. To make it look like there's somebody that's taking notes. Like this is the sort of judgment of the domari. Yeah. Oh, I guess let's talk. I got no anime to watch today either. Oh, Doridoro wrapped up its season finale. So I don't got Doridoro to talk about today. Makes me sad. And I gotta wait till Saturday for Kusanogi's Garden of the Gods. Maybe we'll end the stream here for now. Yeah. I read a bit of the chapter. We're almost done with chapter 9. Or sorry, chapter 8, and then we'll go into the chapter 9 rewrite. Then we will go, I don't know if we'll do the speja next time. It'd be pretty simple and short, right? But then we can go into the obsidian vault and fill in more of the information and work on stuff more. Yeah. Anyways, chat. Want to say thank you all very much for tuning in. It is greatly appreciated. In the meantime, hope you guys take care. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe and healthy. Get fit, get ripped. I will be back here tomorrow. And remember, on Saturday, we're going to watch the Iron Lung movie. Let me make sure I can pull that up on YouTube. We can indeed. Hell yeah. Yeah. And we'll see. Again, I'm not big into horror movies or anything. But... Wait, actually, I said I wanted to do a werewolf movie, didn't I? Yeah, I don't know. What? I'll think. I'll put the chat in. I'll put a poll in the chat. That's what I'll do. Anyways, chat. Bye bye for now. I was trying to think of like a movie for sure.